Hey, what's up? It's Joe from Franchise Accelerator, and I just wanted to make this video to walk through very simply what it is we do at Franchise Accelerator and why it is that we do that. So what we do is plug the gap that pretty much every franchisor has when trying to grow their franchise network, because pretty much every franchisor is trying to grow their network using the old model of franchise growth. Most people used to see an ad, see the opportunity listed on a directory, pick up the phone, call. The franchisor would just pick up the phone and schedule them in for a call. Very easy. The problem is marketing shifted, and now things are based much more on a digital opt-in basis, whereby they're happy to give you their name, their phone number, and their email, and then something needs to happen between that happening and them A, scheduling a call to seriously consider your franchise opportunity, and B, them actually showing up to that call. So that receptionist who used to pick up the phone and just book in a call no longer has the skill set needed for this new thing, which is nurturing somebody from basically raising their hand and saying, this might be interesting to me as I'm looking at all these different opportunities, and nurturing them through to booking a call and turning up to a call, educated, engaged, and also qualified. You basically need someone who's a outbound sales expert who's heavily incentivized, because this is not fun work, to actually get them through that process. And so what we've been able to do is actually cut the manual labor associated to bridge that gap, because people are actually franchisors are spending more money nurturing a lead than it actually costs them to generate that lead. So we see franchisors getting leads for $20, $30 and then spending $99 to $150 of manual labor just to nurture that lead to actually show up. So if, let's say, 1 in 5 actually get in the door and turn up for a call, that's a $20 lead, but you've actually spent $150 nurturing that $20 lead. And so our system on average is going to double the amount of appointments that actually show up. And that's the average. So our top 10 or 20% of cases are actually doing 3 or 4 times what the average rates are, which means for every marketing dollar you spend, just by changing this one piece of the pipeline, you could be seeing 3 to 4 times as many qualified potential franchisees just by working that lead properly, consistently. And this doesn't mean dialing 100 times a day. This is using SMS and dialing patterns that have been split tested over 100 times to optimize for response rate. So that doesn't mean annoying people. That means maximizing the response rate and showing up to them in a way that they actually want to respond to. So our system basically covers 4 key numbers that we want to optimize in helping you grow your franchise. So number 1 is volume. How many leads are you actually getting on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? We come in, we set up your ad account, basically using the learnings that we've used for over 50 other franchisors. We've got proven creatives. We've had a lot of losers and a lot of winners. We can just install that winning creative, that winning targeting straight to your account. Then we're optimizing for speed. That's both speed to lead. So the first time that you contact somebody, we can do it within 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever you need. And we can also do speed to response. So if the lead actually responds and asks a question, how quickly you respond to that question is very important as well. And then finally, it's personalization. So the difference between generic automated SMS and AI-focused stuff that we do is that we can actually add a level of contextualization. We can have a genuine back and forth conversation. We can use things that they filled out on their form to personalize their message to their area and everything like this. So the reason we're focusing on this is, we've talked about the potential leverage in this area. We also know that we could come into your business, and we do this as part of our service as well, and audit your sales process. And maybe we could take you from a 30% close rate to a 60% close rate. We could double it. And that's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of coaching. It's going to take probably expensive talent. And that's for a 2x improvement. What we're seeing in a lot of cases with franchisors is some of them are getting 5% show-up rates. And we can boost that from 5% to 50% just by installing the system. And so after 5 years of consulting with franchisors all over the world, this is the reason we've gone after this part of the funnel. It's because we're going right for the jugular. Why not just go for the chink in the armor, straight for the actual thing that's a bottleneck in you signing more franchisees every month? So that's why we focus on that individual problem. And the way that we do it is the other thing that I get a lot of questions about. So we make a very big deal about not being an agency who is designed to kind of just embed themselves and for you to outsource this capability to somebody else. You own your house, you own your car, but you don't want to own the elements of your business that's the most valuable, the part that can actually acquire franchisees. You don't want to, if you're somebody who's interested in exiting, you don't want to have a business that has the engine behind actually generating leads, qualifying leads, booking calls, and closing, outside of your organization. You want that to come in your organization. Imagine how much more valuable your organization is if it has the inbuilt capability to grow itself. The numbers become a lot more attractive for investors. So that's why we work with you on a 90-day basis to install this into your business. And so on one end of the spectrum, you've probably worked with these done-for-you agencies who charge quite low ticket. They don't have the best talent in their team because they have to charge low ticket. They can't afford to, and they're split across loads of different clients. And they promise you leads, they promise you appointments, and that's what they do. They churn out leads and appointments. Usually they're low quality. Most of our franchisors say they've worked with a handful of these, and it's just never gone well. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there is, forget these agencies, I'm going to do it myself. I'm just going to learn how to acquire franchisees, and this is going to be a huge part of my role is actually growing the franchise network, which makes loads of sense. Now, what I'm telling you is right down the middle. We're not going to do this for you on a permanent basis and try and take 2, 3, 5,000 a month from you. And we're not going to kind of give you a course where we're going to sell you on the information of here's how you go and do it yourself. We're going to come in for 90 days. We're going to set up the infrastructure you need. It's going to be working by the end of the 90 days, or you're getting all of your money back. We don't want to keep a penny of it. And as part of that, you're going to get our proven AI agents that are already working in other franchise organizations. You're going to get your ad account set up and actually working, generating leads, generating appointments, and nurturing them so that they show up. And then you're going to have your automations in the background. So by automations, I'm talking about the actual workflows and the triggers. If you call somebody they don't pick up, automatically messaging them, responding to messages, everything that happens in order to deploy your actual AI agent, we're going to cover that as well. So what it'll look like in practice is you work with us, we spend the first 2-3 weeks setting up the infrastructure. And then after that, we're just working with you to optimize the hell out of it and put ourselves out of a job within 90 days. And if you're a business owner, you've probably had this conversation with agencies before where you're like, okay, this is great. Can I put a team member on your team and you coach them on how to do it so that eventually I can run this in-house? And I've worked for these consultancies before. That's their worst nightmare. That's not what they want. They're billed or they're measured in recurring revenue. They don't want to do that. So that's why I decided to build something completely on the other end of the spectrum to what's already out there. So we've decided to not get recurring revenue. So come in and sell you a one-off implementation project that we're going to then coach you to run, and it's essentially going to be automated anyway. Limit the number of clients we work with to 3 per month, and just not be the cheapest on the market. Like optimize for actually getting you the results, bringing in people with 5+ years of experience specifically in franchising and signing franchisees. And, I'm not doing this because I'm Mother Teresa. I'm doing this because the insight I have is that the most valuable thing for us as an organization is the information and the data that we get through partnering with all of these different organizations. So I'm very clear. Franchise Accelerator's long-term goal is not to become a huge agency. It's to buy franchises and have the in-house ability to grow those massively and then sell them. So while we are a business consulting service and infrastructure service, we're also long-term not thinking about how many clients can we have on retainer. Ideally, we have 0 clients on retainer, and we actually focus on acquisition. Acquisition is always going to be the long-term goal, and that's why what we're doing looks so different to what everybody else is doing in the market. So if you're a franchisor and you're interested in boosting this click to show from getting attention, lots of leads, nurturing them the right way in ways that's been split tested over 100 times, getting people booked onto calls and actually showing up, then click the link below, book a call with me. We can talk through it. We can talk about your business. We can talk about what we would do for your business. I can give you the price. And if you want to go ahead, we could start pretty much immediately. You're welcome. See you soon.